Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are going to be mid-March messages for the sign of Pisces. What's going on, Pisces? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Pisces, if you're a subscriber here or you're kind of familiar with my channel, maybe you're not so surprised to see me doing a mid-month reading. I've never done these before, and I've had this channel for about a year, so yeah, here we are. Mercury retrograde came into my life with a bang, with some very intense energies, and one of the things that they've come to me with that was actually what I'm for the moment deeming positive is to start doing mid-month. So this is where we are. Welcome to it. If you're new here, lucky you, I guess. Anyway, I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. What I'll do now is I'll shuffle for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out on the table and they're lying face up, that's when the reading begins. Check for the timestamp in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. And let's get into it, okay? All right, please show me Pisces outcome for mid-March 2019, please. Pisces outcome mid-March 2019. Wow, very quick. Bottom of the deck is... That's cool. And I laughed so hard because I'm the only one who saw that, but I will explain in a second. And I will... Where'd that card go? There it is. There it is. Hello. Okay. Came like that. The reason I laughed when I saw the overall energy, not that it's something to laugh about, is because when I pre-shuffled, this card came out like twice. So it was meant to be here. All right, guys, let's flip these and see what's going on. Ooh. Okay. And how we look on camera? We look good on camera, don't we? All right, please show me Pisces prominent energy in mid-March 2019. Please show me Pisces prominent energy in mid-March. Please show me. Wow, that was quick. Wow. And yes, okay. Nice and easy, yeah? All right, Pisces, coming into the mid-month of, I almost said August, but that's obviously a ways away. Mid-month of March, you come in with the Two of Wands. Maybe the August was because of the wand suit, fire sign energy, so that could be something, but that's just me knowing quickly that August is a fire month, because that's when my birthday is. Anyway, Two of Wands for you right now, Pisces, is feeling defensive, but then also determined, okay? Like the Two of Wands traditionally is about making choices, making decisions. You know, you've kind of, in a previous phase or at some point along with the Two of Wands energy, you've weighed the pros and cons, and then you come out and you feel determined, you feel focused, you feel ready to move on an idea, on an inspiration, changing things, moving away from things, all different kinds of energies that, or motivations, I should say, come along with the Two of Wands. Now, of course, the defensive part comes really from the illustration. I mean, this guy, this bandito, okay, is definitely fierce, definitely willing to put up a fight, or definitely willing to stand his ground. And, you know, you could take that even literally with him brandishing two revolvers there, you know, with stand your ground laws here in the States, and, you know, I'm assuming similar laws elsewhere. I'm not saying like you're doing that, you know, Pisces, you're walking out of your front door, get off my lawn. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I do feel there is this very feisty, very fired up, I'm not going to take that BS anymore, or I'm not going to endure this anymore, that anymore, you anymore, whatever. And so you're determined to overcome some type of challenge, some type of pushback, some type of upheaval or disruption to a situation or to your life. And the way that you're choosing to go about it is to, one, defend yourself. And I'm feeling energetically defend yourself in the most part. So, and what do I mean by that? So some of you, if you're erring on the spiritual side of that turn of phrase, you would be meditating, you would be praying, you would be doing all kinds of techniques that sort of, you know, embolden you and enrapture you in some type of protection. So spell casting, runes, crystals, things like that. In other cases, if you're not necessarily on the spiritual train, I feel that you would be confronting issues more readily than you ever would. So instead of taking the time to think of a response or not responding at all, you're stepping up to the plate and you are really, kind of putting your foot down. I'm not taking this anymore. And that's an aggressive way to be defensive for you, Pisces. But I feel like this is what you like. I feel you have been brought to this point. Like you've tried other avenues, and that's the other thing that I'm getting here, which isn't necessarily a part of the Two of Wands. You've tried other methods. You have tried other ways of placating a person or placating a situation or seeing something through, and it just doesn't pay off. It just hasn't paid off for you in the past. And so now this is where the Two of Wands does come in. It's a future casting. It's a forecasting energy. What do I want? How do I want it? And how am I going to get there? All of those things are encompassed in this Two of Wands energy. So you are really paying close attention to. Thank you. I was like, what is that? And then they showed me somebody anyway, I'm not going to explain that image. But anyway, what I feel is you've got one hand or one foot, either way, in the past, where you're kind of reconciling the past, or you're maybe looking at the past for reference. Okay, so like I said, I used to do it this way, it didn't pay out, so now let me reevaluate, restructure what I'm going to do in the future. So that's your one foot, one hand in the past energy. And then your other foot or hand is in the future. So again, there's like a broadcasting or forecasting of moving forward in a different direction with different modalities or different methodologies, and being carefully defensive of yourself. And I don't know why they want me to say it that way, carefully defensive, because you're not naturally an aggressive sign most of the time, Pisces. So when you're brought to this more, I need to be more proactive, or I need to be more aggressive, it's really not your bag to do this. So as opposed to, just for the sake of the argument, an Aries would be definitely an aggressive sign. They usually go forward, charge forward with ideas, and they usually don't think twice. Well, I shouldn't say they don't think twice, but they are less careful than you would be. So there's like a temperament. There's like, you're trying to strike a balance in your temperament, in your mood, in the way that you go about being aggressive. An Aries, or even like a Taurus or a Leo, and even to some degree maybe in a Sagittarius, and even the air signs. You water signs, like, aggressiveness is just not your go-to. And when you do it, there's still a tinge of consideration. Am I doing it right? Am I being nice about it? Or am I being too harsh? So there's a careful nature spin that you're putting on this aggressiveness, which is also embodied in a defensive posture. It's a little layered for you, Pisces, but I think you get what I'm saying. I don't think I'm speaking a foreign language to you right now, okay? And funny enough, maybe some of you, like, English isn't your first language, and I technically am speaking a foreign language to you, but whatever. Now, so that's where you are in the current moment. I think, yeah, that's like let's get there. Yes, okay. So in the base, or sort of, I think what has caused this, or what is inspiring you, because again, Two of Wands is that future cast, looking out over the horizon, or looking out over the vista and plotting your way forward. So I think what has inspired you to get there is this Knight of Cups in reverse. Could be your own energy, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio energy. But so it could be your own, but I'm feeling that for some, this is going to be an actual external person to you, another water sign perhaps, but they don't have to be. But the quality is there of someone who's like either been deep in the feels, depressed maybe, or just like despondent, like really detached. Perhaps detached from reality, or detached from their emotions, or detached from the possibility of overcoming their emotions, or some type of plan to overcome their emotions. This is like a very sorrowful, at the moment, or in the recent past, this person or this energy has been very sorrowful, been very down in the dumps, been very, like I said, despondent or discouraged, defeatist, just like, oh, not like Eeyore. Like, this is like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Like, hi, Pooh. Oh, what's the bother, Eeyore? I'm not good at Pooh. Well, Pooh, it's a Monday. You know, just like nothing makes this person happy. Nothing fully brings them out of whatever funk or fog they're in. And again, it could have been or is your own energy that you're overcoming, and the position that it's beneath where you started is significant. You are over this energy, over this person, over the situation or the circumstances that cause you to feel this way. Whatever we're talking about, you're over it. And it's not as dismissive because you still care, especially if this is you. If you don't care about yourself, who the hell else is going to care about you? Can I get an amen? That's not what RuPaul says, but that's the gist of it, you know? So if this is your own energy, of course you still care about them, you, yourself, you know? And if this is another person, of course you still care about them. The fact that you're over it doesn't mean that it's something you want to forget about and abandon. No. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, okay. Abandoned. Like they sort of emphasize that word in my mind. So you or someone else may have felt abandoned or feel abandoned still. And that might be something that needs to be addressed. It might be something that needs to be worked on. But the fact that this is like in some kind of vortex, in some type of emotional void, a deep, dark place, I really feel it, is disturbing, is upsetting, is difficult, okay? So, and I think you just want to get away from this. And, you know, Pisces, that's more your bag. I just want to get away from this. You know, Pisces, I love you guys to death. I've got several Pisces in my life that I love. But, you know, you guys are the great escape artists, okay? I mean, that's what you rule that realm, 12th house Neptune energy, okay? If you know anything about that stuff, that's all you. And that's about escaping the realities, escaping for lack of a better word, the truth of a situation or the truth of the matter or the truth of a person or a personality or a dynamic, whatever we're talking about. So for right now, your big motivation is to avoid this, or like I said, get over it. I'm over it. I'm over them. I'm over myself in some cases. I don't think long term that's the best attitude to have, if I'm honest. But for now, it works. And it makes sense that above that position, above this card, you have yourself in the Two of Wands position. The Two of Wands is just getting started. It's just developing. It started from the Ace of Wands, just the inception of the idea, the spark or the seedling of the idea. And now we're building upon it. And now we're dreaming of all the places we can go. We're looking at all the options that we can take. It's not highly developed, that Two of Wands. There's a lot of energy behind it. There's a lot of enthusiasm or drive behind it, but it's not super developed. So the distance between these two is just beginning. Whether that's physical distance in the real world, whether this is somebody who you live with or that you're close with, that you're just like, you know what, I need a timeout. Or you know what, I'm just going to go and spend a day by myself, running errands, doing some shopping, taking care of me, or, fulfilling my hobbies, or you just stay here on the couch eating that bag of popcorn. You just do that. If that's literally what's going on, cool. That works for now. But like I'm saying, in the long run, we're going to have to come back to this guy or that girl or yourself or the problem, whatever this is. It will have to be dealt with. Yes, it will have to be dealt with. Because right next door, you have the Knight of Swords. So two Knight energies. So they're not the most immature as far as court cards go. The pages would be that. But the Knights are still needing some polishing. They need to be varnished. It's like a few more steps before it's a wonderful piece of furniture, or piece of woodworking. Yeah, there's still some things that need to be handled. And the Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you might have someone around you of those or one of those signs, but they don't have to be, of course. I'm getting, especially with the orientation of the horse being towards this card, I do feel that there is encouragement coming into you, either from someone else or, again, you're a multifaceted person. I mean, everybody's multifaceted, but Pisces, you have several dimensions to yourself, and I meant to say dimensions, okay? So, and being a sign of duality, two fish, you circle yourself, and the two fish are of two different minds. You oscillate, Pisces, just like Gemini. Who's the other dual sign? I always forget the other one. Oh, Libra, duh. So you oscillate. You go, okay, I don't want that, or this is what I'm going to do here on this side, and then you switch over, you go back here, and then you come back, and then you go there, and it's this volleying back and forth. So I think, again, this could be all an internal story. You know, just because there's different characters here doesn't mean this isn't just you. Like I said, you've got different dimensions, okay? But the orientation of the Knight of Swords, and of course it's swords, so we're talking about thoughts. You might, and Knight of Cups, going back to him just for a second, of course, is water energy, so emotions, yeah? So you might be trying to overcome your emotions through your mind, through your intellect, through your rationale and reasoning, okay? Is that bad or good? That's for you to decide. That's for it to be determined at a later time. I don't know. But there is still this bold endeavoring with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Cups, especially in the reverse position, is a lot slower. He's a lot more stuck and stagnant, and like I'm seeing like in quicksand or in like really thick mud, you know? Or they gave me that scene from the Princess Bride in the, oh God, I forget what it's called. But that scene where after the bride knows that it's Wesley, they go down into that really deep, dark, dank, foresty place, and she just like falls straight into whatever that is. And he jumps in and then pulls her out. Whatever. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. I just can't articulate it. And I probably said too much about it. Anyway, so that's what I'm seeing is like, part of you is the princess that fell into that quicksand, whatever the hell pit she fell into. And here comes Wesley, the hero of the movie, the love of her life, the love of your own life. Pisces, if you're not the love of your own life, you better get on that. Diving into that quicksand, going back to the source of the sorrow and dealing with it with perhaps brave or heroic tactics. Okay, so if you have been suffering with clinical depression or any other type of ailment or dysfunction as of late, you might be going and seeking professional help that you've never sought before. So maybe it's prescriptions, maybe it's therapy, maybe, like I said, for some of you, or how did I mention it before? Oh, up here with the Two of Wands, maybe that protection I mentioned earlier, prayer, meditation, doing all kinds of rituals, whatever you're doing, it might be new, and thank you, that's it, because it's bold. You know, the Knight of Swords is very bold. He's very brazen. He's very, I'm just going to go for it. I'm not really going to, ironically, think too hard on it. Or rather, once I have the idea, once I have the game plan in my mind, I'm going to go forward and execute it. Now, the other part of this, and I think I spent, ooh, that's interesting. Is that? That's interesting. I don't know why that's not for this. That's for something else. Anyway, the other part of this that they obviously normally draw me to is the fact that this guy eats a sword, that he's got a sword down his throat. Is he putting that sword in his throat, or is he pulling it out? And that is the first time they've shown me that, or had me consider that in a reading. Is that sword being shoved down his throat, or is he about to whip it out? Well, don't whip it out, but pull it out and brandish the sword. So that could be significant for some of you Pisces. Are you going to, because swords represent truth, clarity, discussions, and communication, your thoughts and your intellect, right? Are you going to continue to swallow that side of yourself or those parts of yourselves, or are you going to pull them out of yourself and brandish them and use them as the tool that they're meant to be used for, especially at night. If you're going into battle, Knight of Swords, you're gonna need that sword. You should definitely remove it from your throat, okay? So there's this idea of allowing the truth to come out, allowing some clarity to come out, allowing some communication to come out. You know, maybe Pisces, you're very good at keeping secrets. Thank you. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you might not even watch this. So Pisces, you're very good at keeping secrets, your other people's and your own. So this could be a chance for you to come out of that. Not all the secrets you've ever kept, okay? Clearly not that, but certain ones that would enlighten or somehow aid in healing the Eeyore situation, the Eeyore person in your life, okay? If it's you, if it's your best friend, if it's your mother, I don't care who it is, or yourself, or, you know, a dynamic in a situation, you know, the way I date or the way that I communicate or relate to my children, whatever it is. If you let a secret out, pull out a truth, yeah, and they're showing me, they want me to, I wish I could project it to you. They're showing me this guy's pulling that out. So let it out, Pisces. To a certain extent, let it out. Okay? Not all of it, because you, first of all, you never would. Even if I said, you know, Pisces, you should let out all your secrets. You wouldn't. So the idea that a Pisces would let go of all their secrets is ridiculous. They will not. Never, 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 never. And that's okay. It's what you're meant to do. It's part of your charm, in my estimation. Now, once you do that, you get here. And this is good that this is aligned up here with your Two of Wands, because I think, again, that forecast, that future cast, that what am I looking out over the vista at? What am I going to covet in my eye? What's the goal? What's the end game for me? Six of Wands, okay? Card of Victory, one of the cards of victory. Oh no, is this not Six of Wands? No, this is Six of Wands. There are six, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. You know why I got confused? Because, never mind, doesn't matter. Six of Wands. So, card of victory. Excuse me. So this is, you know, obviously depicting a sort of procession, a sort of journey or progress along a pathway or within a certain journey, yeah? And there's a lot of people here. So maybe for some of you, this is a family situation or a friendship circle where, you know, other people might be affected by what's going on with you. You know, if I'm honest, just quickly go back. I feel these previous three cards are mostly going to be you. It can't be due to probability that every Pisces is going through some internal upheaval, but I feel that a good part of you, both the population of people who are watching this video and you as an individual, a portion of yourself, certain dimensions of yourself, this is all self-contained energy. It doesn't have much context or much contact with other people. The desired outcome or effect that you want does affect other people, and it's victorious, yeah? So maybe what you're going through right now, Pisces, what you're trying to kind of remedy in yourself or remedy in your relationships, it's, you want it to be given, no, I'm not going to say that, that's silly. You want it to be given the accolades that it deserves, okay? You want it to be recognized, honored, respected, loved, cherished, all these kinds of things. And that's not always a part of the Six of Wands card, because the Six of Wands, normally, if you're familiar with tarot, shows a guy on a horse, you know, and there are other people around him being congratulated. But as you can see, there isn't a prominent figure in this particular deck. In this particular deck, I feel all of these people share the joy, share the celebration, share the accolades and the respect and the cherishing and the honor, okay? So evil, excuse me, slip of the tongue, not what I meant. Even footing is what you're after. Even, balanced, equal serenity. That's a big one. Equal serenity is something that you're after for some of you. Wow. It's like, or maybe, okay, thank you, because this is diagonal to our good friend Knight of Cups, aka Eeyore, right? It could be you see other people have this, maybe. This is going on in other situations external to you, or in situations external to you, and you feel disconnected. I think we talked about that down here with the Knight of Cups in reverse, feeling disconnected. And maybe you feel disconnected from Six of Wands, from people, you know, celebrating, having a good time, and you want to be a part of that. And part of getting to there is going to be taking out that sword from your throat, revealing truths, revealing secrets, entrusting others around you with your secrets. You know, Pisces, you take a lot of that energy into yourself. You know, you hold, like I said, you hold your own secrets, and you hold a lot of secrets for other people. That's a burden. But 12th house, Neptune, that's your bag. It's what it's part of your destiny. It's part of your makeup. Yeah. So for me, I'm feeling that you might be reaching sort of an overload in terms of that weight, in terms of that intensity of what it's like to navigate and be sort of this vessel to receive all of that energy. Again, energy that is created from your own life experience, and the energy and that's created from other people's life experiences. And sometimes you just want to let all that shit go, or like I said, pull that sword out and let some of those secrets out. Okay. All right. Your outcome for this mid-March period, you have the Six of Pentacles. So sort of similar to what we were just talking about. Six of Pentacles is about, you know, reciprocity, give and take, equality across a relationship, equality across all of your interactions with people. If they give you 80% effort, you give them 80% effort. If they give you 30% effort, that's garbage. So you give them 30% effort back. And that's a little bit of a channeling for somebody. Like, don't give more than what you get, okay? And don't take more than what you give. That is not really for many Pisces, because I think a lot of you, like I mentioned up here with that Two of Wands, even when you're being bold and brazen and brash with people, you're also like, but are you okay? Like, I know I'm being a little bit of a, I know I'm being a little bit over the top here, but is everybody okay? Like, you still check in with the people. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. Now, I just said check in with the people, yeah? And then they drew me to the clock here, and clocks and time and all that kind of stuff. There's something about appointment keeping. So some of you may have been burned in terms of appointment keeping, or people are not sticking to a deal, sticking to an agreement, sticking to a commitment, and you feel burned about that. And so you have some evaluation with, again, time, because that's another thing that we can kind of do with time on our hands, or we spend time evaluating or reevaluating situations. So I feel that some of you have been really not guarded, but you might have ended up here or even there because of people disregarding their commitments, or disregarding the reciprocity that I am struggling to say expect. So you might be struggling to say expect in a relationship. And that's not my bag. That's not my natural go-to. Oh no, baby. I expect the reciprocity. Okay. And when I don't get it, I'm a little hard-headed. It takes me a minute, but when I realize I'm not getting it, I step off and I'm just like, forget it. With you, Pisces, you would struggle to, number one, expect it. And then number two, sort of demand, or, you know, have some response to not being given that reciprocity, given that equality or equity in a relationship. Okay. So that's what that's a little layered, especially with it being your outcome, because with outcomes, I think it's usually aligned to our desires or aligned to some type of result. And I feel here, there's a lot of calibration still going on, a lot of evaluation still going on with the Six of Pentacles energy. So I don't think you've come to any sort of result or solution just yet, Pisces. I think it's still up for, like I said, evaluation. It's still being under review. I think some of your impulses is to give second chances, or to, give someone a pass, or kind of forget the situation. And some of you are like, no, we need to take this person to task. We need to hold this person or this situation accountable. And we need to be insistent upon the expectations that we have. So it's going to go in all kinds of ways for you guys. But yeah, I can't really get further into it. That's it. Yep. Okay, thank you. That's it. They're like, shut up. Now, your overall energy, like I said, that had popped out in the pre-shuffle and has appeared again, is the Ten of Cups. Beautiful card. Beautiful card. Oof, I love it. And it's got that heart there over the home. So for a lot of you, this is going to be about your home life, your family life, or if you're not close with your biological family, whatever family means to you. Maybe it's your dogs or your pets. Maybe it's your friends or your roommates, whoever. But the overall concern here is going back to that Two of Wands, I think. What is... Slightly going back, thank you. Slightly going back to that Two of Wands, because we didn't really talk much about the dreaming part, the more wistful energies of the Two of Wands. We were really talking more about the defensive posture, right? But this Ten of Cups is like embodying... What embodies contentment for you, Pisces? What embodies, what does happiness and joy and fulfillment look like to you? That's kind of the theme, perhaps, of your life, or at least of this phase in your life that you're in. Yeah, coming from where you're coming from, whatever your past is, whatever your childhood is, whatever your experience was in your 20s or your 30s or whatever, wherever you are now, you want to see what this looks like. How is this constructed? What makes up the Ten of Cups in my life? Review. Yes. Review. Yes. I think maybe for a few of you, you've experienced this before. You're remembering it. You're nostalgic about it. Could be your childhood. Man, life was easy when I was 6 years old. I mean, not every 6-year-old has an easy life, but I mean, if you're 48 and you're thinking, man, being a kid was amazing. My childhood was amazing. There's that nostalgic, dreamy sense about it. And it's just like, well, I don't know, this is for only a few of you who are really like, and it doesn't have to be childhood. This could be when you were in your 20s or something like that. But some of you are like really idolizing a previous part of your life, a previous phase in your life where you had it all, you think. Emotionally, of course. Cups. And that sigh that I just did there, that's you. Nothing wrong with that. We all have that. But if you covet that so much, think about that. If you covet what it was like, what your life was like, how happy you were when you were a child, yes, life was easier, more carefree. You were possibly less pessimistic. Well, possibly. You didn't even have a concept of what pessimism was if you were, 6 years old. That's all nice, having happy memories of when you were a kid. But consider also what you're coveting in the totality of that image, Pisces. This is getting a little deep, so I hope you can follow me. So as much as you loved being a kid, playing with friends, building Lincoln Logs or playing with Legos or Barbies or whatever you were doing, you also had no control over your life to a certain extent. Well, to very clear extents. You had to go to school. You had to do what your parents told you to do. You had to go to bed when they told you to go to bed. You had no money. You didn't have material independence like you do now as an adult. So the things that you're thinking back on, this is for just a few of you, that you're really like nostalgic about, specifically in childhood or when you were a certain age in your life, a younger, more immature age in your life, or immature phase in your life. Realize that you, for the most part, couldn't construct that 10 of Cups feeling. It was in some ways bestowed upon you. And I don't know why that's important, because they're showing me a painting, like someone's painting something. And when you paint something, when you create something, if it's not a painting, if it's a piece of writing, or like I said earlier, you're woodworking, something like that. If you construct it by yourself, you make it. You make it. When you're a kid, it's not made entirely by you. It's because of your other family members. It's because of your friends. It's because of the environment that you lived in. Maybe when you were a kid, you lived in suburbia. Now you live, you know, in the middle of the Bronx or something. No offense to the Bronx, but you know what I mean? You know, where your life has taken you, and you might feel, this is not my 10 of Cups. This is not as happy as I want to be, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you painting? Are you actively? Are you constructively? Constructively assembling your 10 of Cups? If it's not, if the painting analogy doesn't work for you, are you actively assembling your 10 of Cups? So I want to move away from that, because I don't feel that's most of you. I feel like that's for a few of you. You're like really stuck thinking back on something. So for those who you're not necessarily stuck thinking about what you used to have, again, I think tied to that Two of Wands energy, you're like, okay, how can I make it now? How can I get this back? Or how can I experience it for the first time? If you weren't in that idyllic childhood and your childhood was garbage, okay, no offense, but if it was terrible, all right, I don't want that. I'm tired of feeling like I don't have contentment and bliss and joy and happiness and support and love in my life. I want those things. How can I make them? So some of you, thank you, very clearly. Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, give me something else, because I don't like that nostalgic energy anymore. I don't like it. The heart on the house. Some of you, you need to build a house. Maybe literally go out, you know, volunteer with Habitats for Humanity or something like that, or some other charity that kind of inspires you. Or you need to cultivate your own home. You need to enrich your environment with certain people or physical objects. You have that Six of Pentacles here, but I do feel for some of you, the environment, your physical environment, how you surround yourself is important to your health. Ooh, damn, to your health. I was going to say to your happiness, but they were like, health. And it's just like, okay, to your health. So to your health, mental health, emotional health, you need to enrich your space. Okay? So you have a lot of control right now, possibly more than you think, Pisces. I'm going to tell you that. You have a lot of control right now. To what I was saying about the person who's idealizing their childhood and thinking, no, I can't have that. You can. You have control. You have control. You can do it. If you don't believe you can, well, that's the problem. Work on that. Okay? I feel like I could go on and on about that 10 of Cups, but these are trying to be shorter than my monthly, so I'm going to have to draw a line under it right here, okay? Pisces, that's your mid-March reading. I hope it resonated for you. If it didn't, I'm sorry. It wasn't for you, but, you know, somebody else needed to hear it. But anyway, if you liked what you saw, there's a like button down below. You can comment, you can share, you can subscribe, of course, if you haven't subscribed already. And I've been led to do the mid-month here in March. It was like, you know, put into me intuitively to do it, to offset some of the stuff I've been going through. Will I continue to do it in the future? I'm not sure. I'm feeling that I should. I'm feeling like I might. So I might see you soon doing a mid-month. And if I don't, that's okay. I'll still be around. I hope you'll be around. That's the more important part. Anyway, thank you, Pisces. Thank you guys so much for watching up until this point. I thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye.